Hello traders, welcome to today's video. We are going to be covering the Bitcoin move that we have seen recently, getting our first red day for a while. So we did see that rejection that we wanted to see around the 618 yesterday. So that is why I closed half of my positions, half of my long positions yesterday. And now looking mainly at the altcoins as Bitcoin starts to put in a range here before I do believe that we do continue higher later on this month, next month, whenever month it's going to be, but eventually moving up towards the 100k zone that we are all anticipating over, well, the next few weeks. So in this video, I'm going to be covering Bitcoin, of course, but we're only just going to skim over that, just the price action that we had yesterday. But I want to focus a bit more on the alts because that is what I'm more actively trading now. I am back to trading altcoins. I was waiting for this move. All right, this is the move that I've been talking about for ages. I wanted a clean break of all-time highs. And then when we get the first down day, when we get the first corrective move, that's when to go into alts. That's when the opportunities start to appear. So it's very, very simple. At the moment, I'm looking for some pretty straightforward setups. I'm looking for consolidation before breakouts on these altcoins. So I'm going to cover some more of those in this video. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you've not done so already, and we shall begin. So I've already mentioned it, Bitcoin, the 1.618, that is the zone in which I took more than half of my profits. So I have been shaving small profits off from the longs that I had around that 58 to 60k zone, shaving those profits off along the way. But this is where I closed the big fat portion of my long positions, as I do believe we start to consolidate, and of course we can start to come down even below 80k again, maybe here over the course of the next few days, maybe over the next couple of weeks or so. I am looking for consolidation, maybe correction. So consolidation certainly, maybe correction, but so far we've had a 6% drop. But if that goes to around about 10 to 15%, that'd be really nice. A 10 to 15% drop would take us back down to 80k. Okay, and if we drop any lower than that, then we start to fill the CME gap. All right, the CME gap that we have right about here. All right, just below that 80k zone. So that is kind of what I'm looking at right now for the higher time frames on Bitcoin. Now, on the lower time frames, it's been quite nice as well. All right, we had those like 3 spikes into the highs yesterday. We did have an SFP of a local high. This was as I was recording yesterday's video. Was going to see if it could tap 90k. It didn't. It rejected. It came down here and just perfectly filled the single prints and a 1 hour gap that we had from this. And this is what we're looking for. Okay, we're looking for trades is these high volume candles, and you want to see these zones holding if this is going to be bullish. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I do believe that we can go lower, but not all in one go straight away, because we do have other zones down here. This like 82,600 area is something I'd be very interested in, and then even taking out a few of these lows that we made from back here. We don't necessarily have to come and take those lows, because we don't want to be giving good entries for or opportunities for shorts to get out. We won't see those shallow retraces, but coming a little bit lower would be absolutely fine for me. What we're doing so far today, holding within value area low, so holding within previous day value area. We did get this daily open inside value area. We had a move up towards the POC. It was a very balanced day yesterday, a nice D profile, very balanced day. But now just rotating around that, I would be looking at basically an inside day where we don't really come and take the highs or the lows, because we've formed a pretty large range here, 6% range. So if we do come up, move around here, if we do take out previous day highs or lows, I think they could provide pretty good trades. And if we do drop a little bit lower, then that gives us some more altcoin setups that I think would be really tasty. I am, of course, only looking for long positions when it comes to alts. I'm not really bothered about the red button. Okay, of course, there was an opportunity yesterday with the red button. This was when I was sleeping, because my time zone is very different here. And maybe I would take the odd little scalp or two, but overall, especially when it comes to altcoins, looking for those longs, because I do believe that we can start to build positions for higher time frames, even if we are being very quick to take profit, being very sensible with our take profit levels, and not expecting everything to go flying straight away, but certainly nice reactions and nice price action across the board right now. So a few of the alts I have been looking at, I have been sharing these on X and on the Discord. So the higher time frame trades I'm sharing on X because we can keep up with those fairly easily. The lower time frame stuff, so there's one trade on Pepe that I took that's mainly on the Discord. So if anyone's interested in joining the crew, then you can visit tauruscrypto.com, and that is where we are sharing and trading together throughout the day. So if we do just have a look on the Twitter X machine, this is what I was sharing yesterday. Pepe low time frame could be tasty. Tease me down here. I'm going for it. Now, I very nearly got stopped on this. This is one of my golden rules that I have for when we have this kind of price action. Okay, give the trade some room to breathe. Don't worry about it. These are forgiving conditions. Okay, it's going to be relatively easy if you are hitting the green button because things should be getting nice reactions. And just give yourself a little bit more room to breathe. If it's taken a low already, be aware it could do it again. It's going to be looking to stop people out. So I was starting to enter here on Pepe around about that golden pocket. I thought, oh, that's a nice reaction. I'm going to see if it can make a lower high, higher low, and then continue towards the highs. It did sweep it again, but I just about got away with my stop. I did give myself enough room because what I've been saying, one of my golden rules, if you go over onto Twitter, is give trades room to breathe. Risk a bit less if necessary. Do not get stopped on SFPs. So this is the kind of thing that I'm looking at right now. Simple trades, not looking for short positions unless it's something really obvious. Looking at the timing and not being like, I don't want to be too greedy on entries. If there's an opportunity, okay, things are generally resolving up right now. So if you're hitting the green button, it's more likely than not to be forgiving. And other things like if it does start to lose and if it's just underwater for a while, cut them quickly, because if you're taking a few of these trades, you're going to get plenty of winners. You're going to get plenty of opportunities to take profit. So taking a loss here and there isn't going to be a problem at all. What else have I been looking at? I'm currently in Jakarta, by the way. Nice. This is my setup. This is the skyline. It was very hazy this morning. It's a bit of a polluted city, so that may be why. But yeah, this was the trade on Pepe. On Tier, I've also hit take profit on that one. And then a few others that I'm just going to go over. Well, let's just go over the charts right now because that's why you're here. So Tier, first of all, this is kind of what I'm looking at. I'm not looking for just crazy upwards, mad pump on this straight away because it hasn't been outperforming the market. Right, you want to look for the outperformers, the overperformers, but I do see consolidation here, and this is something I do want to be gradually getting back into because we are within a nice range here. We are consolidating, and if the market stays as it is, then this will resolve higher, okay? Because we are back into a bull market. So if you can start to build positions, it will resolve higher unless something crazy changes, all right? It's really not that tricky. And the setups that I'm looking for are when we see, all right, we see these situations where we've created a really nice strong candle back then on the 6th of November, okay, on that election day. Really nice candle. Okay, coming up, meeting resistance at this daily OB, getting a rejection, and now coming back in to test that gap that we have. So we have this daily gap. I would be absolutely fine if this gets filled the whole way and if we do continue to consolidate. But what I'm wanting to do now is start to build a position, take profit on that position. If it goes lower, add a bit more, take profit, add a bit more, take profit, and just start to build a position that ends up being relatively low cost, relatively low risk, or no risk for a breakout maybe in December or something like that. When we look at the reaction that we had, okay, so I was able to get into this. I didn't get the best entry. We swept the lows and I was entering somewhere within this range. Okay, I think it was around about like $5 like 19 or something. It really wasn't the best entry in the world, but I was confident in it and was able to take profit this morning at about that $5.60, $5.70 zone here. So nice reaction off of that. That is a move up of, well, from the lows, okay, of 14% from my entry, around about 10%. So a 10% move when you're adding leverage onto that, it's rather nice, right? The next one I'm looking at here, and that's still in the right zone. Okay, I want to see it go below $5 again. I want to fill this area and maybe even go a little bit lower. We can still consolidate here, maybe even down as low as 420. But it's okay because I've taken profit on this and I can start to DCA and lower if I need to. The next one was Pepe. Okay, now this was again one that almost stopped me out. So I did just mention that, like, a minute ago. Almost stopped me out, but I give myself room to breathe. Okay, so although like when you draw this, sometimes I'll just like whack it on the wick just for ease, but I'm always giving breathing room below and just adjusting my risk accordingly. Okay, so I just want it to be like, as long as this doesn't really just start to crash down, then that's fine, but I will manage my risk accordingly when it is that, because like I say, these are forgiving conditions right now. Allow the room for this to breathe, because it may just spike like it did on this occasion before taking highs. But if you're bidding within an area that is in basically a discounted zone and you're low comparatively to where these highs are, then it kind of makes sense. Okay, so Pepe, really nice trade. Was able to take profit on that this morning, and actually considering a compound on this probably like now, maybe even. So see how this goes, but we did, this is 1 hour, all right, on here, so you can fill this in, and then you're around about that 618, 30 minute down there. This wick I don't really like, it's quite high, so I do think that we could be looking at another zone to be bidding around here, like kind of where it is right now, because we didn't take the high. Okay, so if I want to look to compound this trade, then it's coming into the right area. If there is something around about that 0.013, maybe add back on a little bit of what I sold earlier. Not to get too greedy, but I do see this as being a nice trend that it's in right now. Okay, it's in a nice uptrend, and I would therefore expect these highs to get taken at some point before it starts to really crash back down. If it does hit my stop, then it's okay. All right, stop right now will be on these lows, because I don't really need to give it the room to breathe anymore, although maybe I should. There is something down here that could clean up, so maybe I should still give it a bit more breathing room and give it these lows, but I'll manage it as I feel necessary. These are play it by ear kind of trades, because we're just starting to get a feel for the market once again. But yeah, Pepe working out really nicely there. Another one that I'm looking at, which did again hit take profit this morning, is Altcoin. This is something I haven't actually traded before, but what do we see? We see a nice impulsive high volume candle. All right, we're coming back in, testing into those gaps. It's there on the daily, it's there on the 4 hour. There's this daily OB down here as well. You've got decent confluence there. And what was it also? Was coming down into that 618. So you've had beyond a 50% retrace, beyond a 61.8% retrace, into a gap within a mini trend that's going higher, and we can therefore expect to see continuation at some point. Now, once again, it doesn't mean that you can't come back down and go a little bit lower, but that's why you take profit on these relatively quickly, and you DCA in, and you're very gentle and easy on the leverage when you do get these lows, and just starting to build those positions, because things hopefully start to resolve higher and higher and higher and higher over time. Another one here, dogs. Okay, we're right at that like decent entry for this. Same sort of thing. I haven't taken profit on this or anything yet, but we're in a nice zone. Okay, we want to see this continuation. All right, we have essentially broken a downtrend, and when we look at this, like what was previously support turned into resistance, is this going to act as support again here? Can you look at this as being range, deviation, expansion, that kind of thing? Maybe. Okay, we've changed this local market structure. We haven't yet changed the main market structure of this like low, high, low here, but looking like a good opportunity once again. We'll see how this one plays out. A very like simple stop. We don't want to see this gap like closing below here again. But overall, if things are going to be bullish, then we should be making higher lows. So that's another one. ENS. I have just been filled on this morning. I didn't get filled on this last night, but starting to have bids down here. I do have bids within this area, so $16 to $17 is where my bids are, and I'm looking once again for this to make a higher low and to resolve higher. Okay, low leverage, seeing how it goes. Okay, taking profit if there is an opportunity to do so. So just starting to get filled on that one with a small position there. Eigen, kind of the same. Okay, we're seeing these pullbacks. These are what we want to see. We're seeing nice pullbacks, opportunities to bid in these gaps. As long as things don't start to close below those daily candles, then things are okay. So they're swing trades. All right, they're swing trades, and you give them space and you go into them slowly, and then we see how they play out. STX, another one. Okay, it's here, and it's done this previously, right? You create a gap with high volume, you consolidate, you're holding it, you see continuation higher. Once again, we get a gap with high volume, you're consolidating, and then we can hope to see some continuation higher. So with all these trades, I'm not going in with big size. I'm making sure that I'm taking profit quickly, and yeah, essentially just playing it by ear, seeing if these kind of things start to play out. But it's just one setup, simple setup, seeing where the opportunities are, and hopefully, yeah, making a bit of extra money because Bitcoin's been very nice recently. This must mean that Bitcoin's dropping a bit. No, it's not. But never mind. um, yeah, there's nothing really more to say. Total 3. This is why I do think like consolidation before higher is likely. Total 3 did come and take out these highs. All right, depending on where you draw this from, where it's calculated from. But from a daily, all right, it did come and take out these highs. We are seeing a bit of a move down. So we've seen a move down on Total 3. This is like the altcoin index of 10%. The consolidation here is healthy. It's absolutely fine. This is where the opportunities are for continuation trades later on. And then we have some more highs and all-time highs and all of these kind of things that we're probably going to be looking at over the course of the next few months once again. And then, of course, did I mention ETH BTC? I don't know if I did, but I'll mention it again anyway. ETH BTC, a nice zone. So this is why altcoins are looking pretty decent, at the very least for bouncy catch-up kind of price action. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there because I actually need to check out of my little apartment that I'm in right now and move on to another place before I fly out of Indonesia tomorrow. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.